Hi, and welcome to European History Crash Course. Today we will be discussing the revolutions of 1848. The revolutions of 1848 were several revolts that occurred in the French, the German, and the Italian states. Rebellions occurred in the Kingdom of Sicily and threatened to cause the same issues in the Austrian Empire, which at the time was under the control of Emperor Francis Joseph. He relied heavily on the military to subdue all forms of liberalism and nationalism. The political turmoil was only added to the agricultural issues they were facing, known as the Hungry Forties. The worst of it occurred in Ireland's potato famine of 1846. People were growing agitated with their governments. When France coughs, the rest of Europe gets sick. France is known for starting the domino effect of revolutions. They began the sparks of revolution, and the revolutions of 1848 were no exception. The rise of censorship and banning of open political meetings upset the people, who in turn held political meetings thinly disguised as banquets. When the largest one was planned for February 22nd to honor George Washington, Louis Philippe's chief minister, Gazette, banned it, leading to 4 days of revolution in the streets of Paris, but after it ceased, the workers were still not satisfied until Louis Philippe fled to England. With him gone, the people could now focus on issues they were so dissatisfied with before. However, liberals focus on political issues and radicals focus on the need for fundamental social and economic change. In the end, national workshops were provided for the unemployed, and a National Assembly election was held on April 23rd. The National Assembly allowed universal male suffrage and created a government run by a 5-man executive committee of moderates. This, of course, did not please the people, which initiated the June Days, which were known as the termination of workshops. The French Second Republic was created, and Napoleon created rather conservative government. By 1851, he took control with his dictatorial power and declared himself emperor. In the German states, which was led by Frederick William IV, had made false promises to promote moderate reform. It caused riots which erupted in the streets of Berlin. He ordered his army to leave and called an election for a constituent assembly. In December, he drew up his own constitution that allowed some personal rights and created a 2-house legislature. France had inspired nationalists to break free, and in Hungary, Lajos Kossuth demanded that the constitution provide a responsible government. There was similar revolts in Prague for the creation of semi-autonomous Czech homeland. In Vienna, May through October, students and workers had control and demanded freedom of the press and an end to censorship. They also demanded for the removal of Metternich from office. 1848 established a unified German state under Frankfurt Parliament. Grossduch's plan was to see all German lands, including sections of Austria and Bohemia, united. Kleinsdutch, however, was more realistic and thought of only Prussia and smaller German states would unify. The imperial throne was then offered to King William IV of Prussia, who now held the crown picked up from the gutter. And lastly, in the Italian states, revolts first broke out in Sicily, which at the time was led by Ferdinand II. The people revolted in hopes the government would grant a liberal constitution. Revolts broke out in Austrian-dominated provinces of Lombardy and Venetia. Italian liberals wanted unification with Charles Albert's rule of Sardinia, reluctantly supporting them. He attacked Lombardy and was easily defeated by the Austrians. Later, a group of Italian states were granted the Constitution of 1848. Only Sardinia governed through the constitutional monarchical course. The Italians also could not get rid of Austria within Italy without the help from another European power. Which reminds me, it's time for the open letter. Thanks, Ginger. Oh, Russia and Great Britain, two polar opposites during the time, but similar in the fact that both Russia and Great Britain avoided the turmoil of revolutions. Russia was very repressed by Nicholas I and did not develop the economic and social pressures needed to stimulate liberal revolution, while England was already advancing with such an effective government. They satisfied the goals of the revolutionaries by giving them the People's Charter of 1838. Revolutions. They seem to share a common theme, from widespread dissatisfaction with unjust political leadership to a newfound sense of nationalistic pride. Citizens demanded for government reforms and other liberal movements, thus causing the outbursts of revolutions during the time. Thanks for joining us. That was the revolutions of 1848.